What is going on, guys? Greggles TV. This is a review of the Dragon Touch Max 10 tablet. It goes for about 145 bucks on Amazon. Currently, there's a 10% coupon, so you can get it down to about 130, and it has a octa-core processor, has 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it has 32 gigabytes of internal storage along with micro SD card support if you want to add additional storage. It charges via micro USB, so no USB-C on this, unfortunately. Inside the box, you get the tablet along with a micro USB cable and a 5-watt charger, so slow charger, and again, micro USB. Disappointment for sure on that, on the charger. I really wish they had put USB-C. Now this tablet runs Android 9, so you're gonna have a fairly recent edition of Android, or Android 10 currently, but this has Android 9. I can't guarantee you're gonna get updates with this, but otherwise it runs really, really well in terms of price and what you get. The display is 1080p, 1920 by 1080, and it's an IPS display, so no matter what angle you're looking at it, the colors are gonna pretty much stay the same. They're not gonna, affect, change too much, and you'll be able to see it at pretty much, like I said, any angle, which is always an awesome thing with a tablet. Now, let's check out some things on here. So first of all, you might want to know, since it's 130, 145 bucks, is it gonna be good, like gaming, for instance? So let's load up a game here. We'll load up Asphalt 9. And here we go. Get some gaming on with the Asphalt 9. Just to show you, it runs, I played this game already, and it runs it fairly well. I mean, it's not amazing, but you would think, for 145 bucks, it's gonna run it kind of badly, but it ran just fine when I was doing like the initial test on this with this game. It didn't really have any frame drops too much, and I mean, like I said, it had a little stutter there, but basically for 140 bucks, it runs completely fine. We'll run through a little bit more of this game, because this game has a lot of stuff going on in terms of like objects flying and just overall movements and other vehicles on the screen and buildings and all kinds of stuff, effects that would potentially bring down the quality of the game. And it looks fine too, like it's not like super downgraded, like the graphics is not plain or anything. So I think just performance alone, you can do a fair amount of stuff on this. I did have the game open before this, and when I reopened it, it had closed out, so it doesn't have a ton of RAM at only 2 gigabytes. So you're not going to get like a lot of performance in that regard of being able to keep a ton of apps open, but that's probably not a big deal for most people. Also, speaking of performance, because we just looked at gaming, the battery is 5,000 milliamps, and it seems fairly decent for the time I've used it. It's a 1080p display and a 5,000 milliamp battery. You're gonna at least get 4 hours of 5 hours of battery life in terms of just using this overall. It should be perfectly fine for watching a couple movies on there and then having to recharge it. But again, just running around here, like I said, it's fairly decent in terms of just like using it and going through the menus and just overall usage. I haven't had too much issue with any of that. You can see while I'm in here, you can see 32 gigs of space. I've downloaded a couple of apps in a game, so I've got about 9 gigs left, but you can add that micro SD as well if you want in here. And then checking out, you can see that Android 9 is on here, about the tablet, 2 gigs of RAM, Max 10, Android 9. But yeah, like I said, it's not that bad when you're just jumping around the operating system on here. Performance. And then let's check out a video real quick. So one of its weak points is speakers. They're very bad. The speakers are awful on this, to be honest with you.
No press conference or anything.
I don't even know if you can tell, but they sound awful, the speakers. The screen is very good, or for especially for the price. The speakers are horrendous. So you do have a headphone jack right here, and I'll show you around the tablet a little bit later in the video, but the speakers are awful.
Tomorrow, so if you want to pick them up, you can tomorrow. And
they sound tinny, they sound low, they don't have good volume. They're bad. They're awful. And just give you a quick little peek around this tablet. You've got your volume keys up and down, you got your power, you get your headphone jack. You have at the top here the micro USB charging port. You have nothing right there, nothing on this side. At the bottom, you have the 2 stereo speakers, which sound awful. And on the back, you have a camera, along with right here, you just pop that off and put in the micro SD card in there. And then other than that, you do have a camera on the front as well at the top in the middle. This is a 5G tablet, so I just wanted to do a speed test on the Wi-Fi with my Galaxy Note 10. I got a score of, hopefully you can see that, got a score of 239 megs, download 36, upload, and this was just, I don't know, 5 minutes ago or so. It wasn't that long ago. And this one got 145, which is not as fast, but this is also a $140 tablet versus a over $1,000 phone. And let's check out upload speed. So obviously I'm getting about half the speed of the download and then about half the speed of the upload, more or less, but still very, very good speeds to do basically anything that you want on the tablet. As for a Geekbench 5 score, I'm running it on the tablet right now, but on my Note 10, I got a score, single core of 716 and a multi-core of 2571. And you can see when you go in here and you go to compute, or actually go back a little bit further, and you look at, this is gonna show you some of the specs that this phone has, which is obviously, I'm running Android 9, Qualcomm Snapdragon 855, which is the best processor currently. Well, I guess they have the 855 Plus, but the 855 on here, and this also has 12 gigabytes of RAM. So we'll see what kind of score we get on the tablet. All right, guys, there you go. An awful score, 145 on the single core, 626 on the multi-scores, but obviously when you compare that to my Galaxy phone, which got a score of 716 and 2571, obviously it's a huge drop, but like I said, this runs not that bad for just day-to-day tasks in terms of what you're going to do. So you saw videos, which I think it runs really, really well. So if you're gonna use this for like Netflix or like YouTube or like stuff like that, I think you're really going to enjoy it for stuff like that, because I think that's generally what people use tablets for anyway, is to watch movies and music. And when you do that, you're going to want to plug in headphones, like I said, because the sound on this is just horrendous. So it's good that you can plug in a pair of headphones. It also has Bluetooth, so if you want to plug in Bluetooth headphones, you can with it. So again, it's gonna be great that way. You can see this is, I record my videos in 4K, and this can do videos up to 1080p, and it looks, I think, perfectly fine for the type of stuff you're going to be doing for video watching. So I think that's, again, really what it's all going to be about for this tablet. And then other than that, guys, I mean, you can do video chat on here, but I don't think you're going to want to. I'll show you how the camera looks. It's not amazing, and here I am right here. But I mean, who takes pictures with tablets anyway? Well, it looks like I have my in my other camera and my other light up here. It looks like my face is built in there, but it's just a reflection. So camera's not amazing. And you're just gonna use it for video chats and at that, and it'll do the fine job with that. It's got a camera on the back as well. Some of the stuff here when you go into settings, just to run through that with you guys. And then once you get into the settings, there's a couple of things in here like tweaks you can do, but we'll run through a few of these. So audio profiles, you can change you can change it to silent or vibrate or outdoor for max volume and vibrate. Under storage, like I said earlier, when you don't install any apps on this, you get about 25 gigs of free storage, but again, you can add more via the micro SD. Security and location, there's no fingerprint or there is face unlock, which if you set up, it's not going to be secure face unlock, so just keep that in mind. But it does have face unlock. There's no fingerprint either, so you won't be able to do a fingerprint on here. If you go into, I believe it's system, and then you go into gestures, there's a couple of gestures in here. You can jump to camera to quickly open camera, double press the power button, so you can do that. If you turn that on and you double press the power button, it'll launch the camera. Also, to prevent ringing, you can press power and volume up to turn it. You can select what you want to do it to mute it or do nothing, or turn it on to vibrate if ringing is on. You can set up multiple users if you want on the tablet. That way there's more profiles and you can kind of hide stuff if you need to. If there's a system update, you can come in here and check to see if there's one. I checked a few days ago and there was not. Again, I don't know how many times they're going to push updates on this, but you might not need one if you're just using it to watch movies and stuff, especially if you're going to use it for a couple of years. You should be completely fine with any of that stuff. There's also a navigation bar on here, so you can switch these buttons around if you want. So if you want like the back button on the left side instead of the right, you can do that. You can also do something like this where you have an extra button here to bring down the quick toggles and push it back up into your notifications and stuff like that. So cool that it gives you that kind of customization. But anyways, like I said, if you're just gonna watch videos on this, I think you'll be fine. Plug in some headphones or use Bluetooth headphones. You could use the speakers, but they just sound god awful. You can do some gaming on here as well. Web browsing looks decent. Let me open up Chrome for you just so I can show you can see that. I'll load up the Samsung website, and you know, you can do that stuff if you want. If you need to, it'll look fine. You can open up tabs and stuff. You can see a lot of this stuff doesn't stay put. It kind of reloads it just because of the low RAM amount on here. So don't think you're going to be able to. You're going to be like a multitasking king on here, because you will not be. I don't even know if you can run. Let's see if you can run multiple windows. Yeah, I guess you can run multiple windows on here. So let's open up settings, and then we've got our browser as well. So you can run multiple windows on here and do that. So if you wanted to watch a video or something and browse the web or whatever, you can do that at the same time on this tablet. So I'll link the tablet down below if you want to pick it up. Not a bad tablet for 140 bucks, but also if you're coming from like a $600, $700 or $1,000 tablet and you come to this, you might be a little less underwhelmed. But it's linked down below. Thanks for watching. See you guys down the road. Peace.